Hello and welcome to the Creatively Challenged podcast, where we talk entertainment, news, and random topics we bring to this $34 card table. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Nolan, and I'm here with my friend Mike Stuglis. How you doing, Mike?
This is our third attempt at trying to do this episode, right?
Yeah, we did about 40 minutes of just news in our last recording, and goddamn, we had problems. But you know, we're still trying. And also joining us is Dan Stewart. Dan, how you doing?
B-A-B-Y baby, Ryan.
That's a quote from
Saying it again. What's her name? From Baby Driver. The Cinderella.
Lily James. Lily James. That's her name.
Yeah, she sings it. She's very attractive. I'd hold her hand.
A doll.
Yeah.
She sang that in the movie. And it got my gears rolling, right?
It did for me, too. We're going to have a review on Baby Driver coming up soon after our news. And we also have another guest with us today. Mike, you want to intro him?
Nick, you get a second attempt at this intro. Don't fuck it up. I'm at my brother's in Kentucky. Nick, what's going on?
Well, you're putting a lot of pressure on me right now. But my brother Mike Stuglis over here is visiting me in nice Florence, Kentucky. About 85 degrees right now. Just gorgeous out.
We're staying inside.
We're staying inside. It's way too humid outside. But this evening at 7 o'clock, we're going out for a little Italian downtown Cincinnati, a place called Via Vite.
So you're in
I think
you're in Florence, Kentucky?
Florence, Kentucky. It's just south of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Will the Italian food in Florence, Kentucky compare to the Italian food in Florence, Italy?
I have been to this place before. It is pretty good. I don't know about Florence, Italy. That's just so genuine.
Is Florence and the Machine there?
That was
No.
horrible.
No. I'll tell you what, though.
You know, Florence and the Machine does an absolutely incredible cover of Stand By Me, if you've never heard it.
They're a
That's
good
a good
band.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. We're usually 25% Italian. We're full guineas tonight when we're eating at
Jesus.
the Italian restaurant.
That's a racist remark by my friend Mike Stuglis over there.
I am Italian. I'm allowed to say it.
Okay.
That's your
That's fair.
word?
Yeah, that's okay. You guys ready to get into the news?
Sure.
Yes.
All right, we might as
I
well
guess we're only
escape
doing
that.
2 topics.
We are going to cut down our news since we had put so much effort into it. It would just be draining to go through it all again. So we're only bringing you 2 stories today in our news. We had a trailer drop for ABC's Inhumans. This is a Marvel show. This is getting into their Marvel TV universe, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I got to tell you, this is a really bad trailer.
Complete dog shit, Ryan.
Yeah, I concur. This show is directed by the same guy who made the Iron Fist TV series. They both had incredibly high budgets and both turned out a completely underwhelming series. And it's looking like Inhumans is going to reflect that same sort of theme. Mike, what'd you think of that trailer?
It was bad. It was stupid. I'm not going to watch it. Like that stupid Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show. Stick to Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones. Don't watch Iron Fist. I'm looking forward to The Defenders. I'm not looking forward to Inhumans. Ramsay Bolton from Game of Thrones is in it. He's a good actor in Game of Thrones, and he looks constipated in this. And it just looks like bad CGI, and it just doesn't look the least bit engaging. Also, it looked like a Star Trek spinoff. Did anyone else get that vibe?
Yeah. Did you know that Raisin Bran is a good source of fiber so that it clears constipation?
Maybe Ramsay Bolton needs some of that.
I need some of that at this moment.
But I mean, this trailer, it was absolutely like, it's such a bad reflection of what's to come, and I really hope that it gets canceled because like they're just wasting their time with this and making a bad name for Inhumans.
Are you gonna even give it a chance?
No, I didn't even give Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a chance. I've seen a few episodes, but ultimately it kind of gets into the whole monster of the week routine, which is what the CW DC shows do with the Flash and Green Arrow, is that like there'll just be a new villain every week, and the hero faces adversity and then they overcome it. And that's the same thing that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does. While it's cool that we get to see more obscure comic book heroes or villains come to screen, it's absolutely a piss poor execution, and I don't want this to happen.
Yeah, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show is poop. Yeah, like, ABC is owned by Disney, and Disney Marvel, have been very successful with the films that they've released. They haven't really released a bad film yet.
Yeah.
And then the Netflix shows are under the same umbrella, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and then shitty Iron Fist. And I can't believe that out of all of the writers and directors and anybody who's been involved with the Marvel Disney universe, they get the guy who made Iron Fist, who's done the shittiest job so far, and then they let him take reins of this show about guys who are like friends with the Fantastic Four. So, like, I don't know. The Inhumans are just very obscure, and the trailer looks like cat shit, and the characters, Ryan, you trashed me before for trashing the characters. I wasn't necessarily trashing the characters. They've just got really lame names.
No, and that's fair. But I'm not okay. I shouldn't say I'm a big Inhumans fan, but I've read plenty of their work, and it's hard to get some people to care about these characters who, at a first glance, might be totally ridiculous. I mean, the main character of the show is Black Bolt, who his powers make him unable to speak because the slightest word he speaks just explodes.
You mean Lockjaw?
No. Lockjaw's a dog. Black Bolt's the main character. He's the guy who gets teleported into New York by Lockjaw. Lockjaw can teleport.
Okay.
And so if Black Bolt even speaks a word, he just sends a big explosion ahead of him. And so, I mean, if you have a main character that can't convey dialogue, I'm not really sold on this. A lot of times Inhumans was strong because of its other characters, and it doesn't seem like we're getting a lot of them either. So
Can you imagine every time? No, Ryan, continue.
I was done.
And with the Inhumans though, I mean, they've got like a team of like 7-8 guys. And it seems like it's just gonna focus on like Black Bolt the most, and I completely agree with you. I mean, you got a character who can't speak without murdering hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I'm not about this show.
Yeah.
Not about it. I just think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is so poopy, and it's like it's just on ABC, and they brought Phil Coulson back to life, and then he's not back to life in the movies, but somehow he's alive, and he's poop on the poop show, and it's just a big poop show, right? It's all just poop. And
Can you imagine every time Black Bolt speaks, someone goes, "Shut up," because you fucking.
It's all just poop. I'm tired of all the poop, Ryan. I can't handle the poop.
Dan, I concur absolutely. Is that all we have on this? Because I'm done talking about this shit.
I'm done.
I can't continue to talk about poop.
All right. Well,
but
what's our next story, Dan?
Well, there's some poop involved in our next story, Ryan, and that is so Spider-Man: Homecoming comes out later this week, and that's going to be our next movie review on the next week's podcast. But right before Spider-Man: Homecoming, Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, which is like this sci-fi based on the groundbreaking graphic novel from Paris or whatever, is showing its first scene in front of Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now, these two movies are unrelated. Valerian has nothing to do with Spider-Man or Marvel or Disney or anything like that. And it's showing its first scene before Spider-Man. Now, I don't know how they're going to go about this. This is kind of something that's unique. But also it could be because, they're just afraid that they're going to be poop. So they want to get their their advertising out really quick right before it comes out. And, I'm not about this. I just want to go in. I want to see Spider-Man. I don't want to see 5 minutes of another movie and then watch Spider-Man because I'm just going to forget about that 5 minutes. And there's probably a lot of people who feel the same way. Nobody's going to go and see Spider-Man saying, like, yeah, I'm really excited for this 5 minutes of Valerian.
It just seems like it's a Hail Mary plan. Like, maybe this first scene is it kind of enraptures you, and they want audiences to see this first scene and say, oh, okay, that was a visual spectacle. Maybe I'm interested, especially for kids even. Because it does look like it has an interesting sort of art design to it. That's what the director's primarily known for. But I don't think it's a wise move to have to rely on your opening scene to draw an audience in. Like, I just don't understand it. Mike, what do you have on this?
No one mentioned the Dunkirk thing yet, right?
I was waiting for you, yeah.
All right.
I know that's your main thing.
I went to get banana bread.
Oh, dude, banana bread is so good.
Yeah.
You don't know the half of it. Yeah, there's chocolate chips in this one.
Oh, that's how you fucking do it. Oh.
Anyway.
Do you just fucking... Are there nuts in it? Like, and did you melt some butter on top of it? And
no, I just grabbed it from the fridge.
Oh,
that is
so,
not.
You don't know you don't know the half of it. Melt some butter on top of that sucker.
I need a quick thing to eat. I haven't eaten today. So,
Danny, don't tell a man how to eat his banana bread.
Only tell a man how to eat his bananas, not the bread. Anyway.
Point
Okay.
taken.
So,
whoa, that was
so.
gay.
This movie comes out the same weekend as Dunkirk. So this movie is going to bomb. And they need to make a splash quick. So this ploy to put it before Spider-Man maybe gets people to say, okay, I'll see Dunkirk and I'll see this. Maybe it'll draw in a little extra revenue instead. And I think it's a smart move, but again, it's kind of late in the game. They got a tough couple of weeks because not only is it competing with Dunkirk, but it's going to have the ripple effect of weeks following Baby Driver and Spider-Man and Planet of the Apes. This movie doesn't stand a chance.
See, they're already in a poop show because the thing is that, I mean, like it says in their trailer thing, and it's like this trailer is almost becoming like the Mummy trailer where it's in every movie that we see. But, it doesn't look like shit. Like, I haven't said, like, wow, I really don't want to see that. That's not the case with this film. But then in their trailer, they're like, from the groundbreaking graphic novel. And I've never heard of it. I don't know one person who has. And, I mean, like, it looks cool, and everything like that. But, like, I'm going to say Dunkirk over it. And, it's like people would rather see Planet of the Apes or, Spider-Man or Baby Driver or Dunkirk because they kind of would rather see that. And, it's like, and Spider-Man, being before Spider-Man's got some great reviews so far, and that makes me really happy. I'm a huge Spider-Man guy. Spider-Man's my third favorite superhero. And, like having Spider-Man be great makes me only excited for Spider-Man. Like, and it comes like, and I'm excited for Spider-Man, and then I have to watch 5 minutes of a movie I don't really have any feelings for right before Spider-Man. It just kind of, you got to look at the placement of this because if Maria Menounos is presenting it or it just comes on right before fucking Spider-Man, like, I don't know. I mean, there's good and bad placement for this, but I just think right before a huge blockbuster unrelated to your film is just bad placement to begin with. Like, I don't care about this Valerian thing.
And they're thinking that this is going to solve that problem, that general audiences do not give a fuck. I don't think I'm going to give a fuck after I watch the opening scene. I want to watch Dunkirk.
I want to
watch Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I want to watch Spider-Man.
Ultimately.
And Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
And Game of Thrones comes out that same weekend as Planet of the Apes. So
yeah,
that has nothing to do with film, but My focus is on that, not 5 minutes of Valerian.
Yeah. Well, is that all we have on this, gentlemen?
Other than I'm excited to see Maria Menounos's physique.
You really danced around that one.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, we saw a movie this week. We saw Baby Driver, directed by Edgar Wright. You might know him from directing Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. It goes, a talented young getaway driver relies on the beat of his personal soundtrack to be the best in his game. But after being coerced into working for a crime boss, he must face the music when a doomed heist threatens his life, love, and freedom. It stars Ansel Elgort, Kevin Spacey, John Hamm, Jamie Foxx, Lily James. How do you pronounce that?
Isa?
Yeah, Isa Gonzalez and John Bernthal. Let's jump right into the positives here. This was a fantastic movie. Does anyone want to take this? I kind of have to gather my thoughts here after reading all that.
This movie has a lot of positives. One, Edgar Wright has finally broke through, as I think, kind of solidified himself as one of the best directors, because what he pulled off was not easy. It could have come across as super cheesy and not worked, but he was able to blend his screenplay, his action, and his music perfectly. Everything moves so well, and this movie never misses a beat, pun intended. And it just, his vision came through so well. Not only is the music good, and there's bits of dialogue that are hilarious and very witty at times, but the car chases in this movie are nuts. You feel like you're watching live action Grand Theft Auto at times.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so enjoyable to watch. And then mix that in with a great ensemble that he has together. Ansel Elgort has great chemistry with everyone he interacts with in the movie. I mean, every situation he's in, he just works so well with everyone else. Spacey's great. The love interest, Lily James, is very good. The two standouts, though, were by far John Hamm and Jamie Foxx. Those two guys came to play. One, you could tell Jamie Foxx is just having a ball with this role, because I think Edgar Wright kind of just said, all right, you get to be the asshole who swears a lot. And it honestly felt like if Django became a thief. That's kind of what his character felt like, with the quick dialogue and the cussing.
Yeah.
So he was great. But holy shit, this role was written specifically for John Hamm, and I could see why, because he brings out the charm at the beginning, and then as this movie goes on, he is fucking menacing at the end. And he is so relentless, and I loved his character, Buddy. And yeah, to me, he was fucking 5 out of 5. He was so good in this movie.
I concur.
With somewhat of limited screen time. But Ryan, are you ready to get your thoughts on that?
Yeah. This has been something in Edgar Wright's vision for a long time. Yeah, I think it was in 2003 he directed a music video. If you wanted to ever go back and see it, I don't even remember the title of it, but he directed this music video where it's almost identical to the opening scene of the movie. And he's kind of always wanted to direct this. And in interviews, he kind of said it's a musically driven movie. Like, we've all had that feeling where we're driving our car or we're walking down the street with headphones on, and you kind of get a spring in your step, or you kind of speed up a little bit because that music is just driving you. And that's the way this entire movie is. Everything is choreographed around the soundtrack. I would say it's almost just like a musical in a way. And it's directed and edited in such a tight way that it's really like enthralling to watch this along with the soundtrack. And every time there was a good song coming on during a racing scene, or like things were happening, I always found myself kind of tapping my foot to the music with it. It was really enjoyable. What do you guys have on this?
Well, Dan, to you.
I have to say, this is one of the most creative and innovative films I've ever seen. I hope this film is like, Mad Max, last year or the year before, whenever it was. And it gets buzz around Oscar time, even though it's a summer film. This film is so just well done. Everything about it, just everything works. The directing, the editing, the cinematography, the acting, the ensemble cast is just so good. And then Ansel Elgort was awesome as Baby. And I everything just worked with this film. It was just so well put together. The pacing, everything was just so great, and the music flowed so naturally and so awesome. Like, just the way the editing was done with it. I mean, the music would flow from scene to scene. I mean, a song would change, or one of Baby's headphones would get taken out and the music would go softer. And it was just so well done, and well put together. I absolutely loved this film. And, Edgar Wright, I have to applaud him as a director in this case, because this is a film that, he's already made some hits, but this is such an original and such an awesome film that this could slingshot him into hopefully more films like this.
Yep. Nick, you got any positives?
I do have a couple positives. So, just to start out, after watching Mad Men and John Hamm and that, it was pretty much Donald Draper on steroids. That was the way that I saw John Hamm in that film.
Yeah.
He's dapper. He's still good looking. And also, he has this woman with him, Darling. By the way, shout out to her. She is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I just love how he was able to take what he did as Donald Draper and pretty much just turn it into an awesome action figure. And Donald Draper in Mad Men, yeah, he's not the best dude, but with Baby Driver, he kind of just opened up his character just a little bit more, and to see him at the end so menacing, I thought that just showed John Hamm's range so well.
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx as Bats. When he first came onto the screen in that Suicide King sweater, I knew the movie was going to be awesome. The King of Hearts is what I call him. I love that guy. Jamie Foxx knows exactly what he's doing. And I just thought it was awesome how he's just confrontational the entire movie. He's just trying to pick fights with everybody. And also, Baby, Ansel Elgort played that role so well. He was a very believable character. And even though he's not doing the best thing, obviously, driving around these crooks, robbing banks and all that stuff, the movie does a very good job at making him seem innocent, because as his character, he is an innocent human being. I mean, he doesn't kill anybody.
Royale with you.
That's right.
Oh, that's a spoiler. Forgot about those spoilers.
Well,
sorry, everybody.
Maybe I could edit that.
No. I just really liked, with the way that the movie ended, and I'm just going to leave spoilers out of this, I thought it was good that the way that Baby had to kind of go through and mature and grow up through what he did, but at the same time how he was able to you know what, I'm going to get into spoilers. I'm not even going to
You
touch
liked the way
ending.
it wrapped up.
I liked the way it wrapped up. I didn't think it was cheesy, and I was kind of worried about that a little bit.
Yeah, it was somewhat of an untraditional ending. I'm with you there.
But to be honest with you, sorry about the spoilers, guys, but
all
that's all I really have to say about Baby Driver. I thought it was an excellent movie, very entertaining, and it kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat the entire time.
Did we have any negatives on this movie?
I have one nitpick, and it is such a nitpick, but it's true. The relationship, although handled very well, of, them sharing the headphone and kind of bonding through music, I liked all that. But for how minimal amount of time they know each other, I did find it a little bit of a stretch, the lengths at times she's willing to go for him, because she knows him in such a short period of time. That is my one little gripe. It's almost like their romance in the middle was a stepping stone for the climax.
That makes sense. That's fair. Anybody else?
That is all I got.
I'd say a negative I have might get a little bit into spoilers. but like there's a line Kevin Spacey has that ends up not making sense for what he does, and it just kind of confused me, and it was complete setup that kind of, you know, I don't know if it was like a purposeful like screw up by him or something like that, but it definitely affected the end of the movie, and it might get into spoilers, so I'm not gonna delve deep into it, but I was just like, okay, then, you know, like you said that, but then you did it, and then it that's the reason why everything got fucked up at the end. So I'm not gonna get into that.
Before I saw the movie, I watched a few reviews that were spoiler free, and I heard the same problem that Mike had about the romance, and I went in not expecting a lot, but I actually, for one, was sold on their relationship. Maybe it didn't do it for other people, but I felt as though there was a connection between them, and some of the actions she might have taken were somewhat earned, though they were in fact a stretch. I was able to suspend a little disbelief since, you know, he's driving all crazy like that, and there's very weird and strange events that happen in the film. But I actually don't really have any negatives. I think for a majority of the films I've seen by Edgar Wright, a lot of times the things are so tight and smartly written that a lot of times it's just too fast for me to pick up a problem with it because I'm just not really that sharp, I suppose. But again, I didn't really have any negatives that come to mind.
Nick, do you have any negatives?
I do not have any negatives for the film.
No negatives.
What are we scoring Baby Driver at, gentlemen?
I am at a 4.75 out of 5. And on an entertainment value, this movie is a 5, but I really did that little flaw, bumped it back that little. So if I am going to give it, it would be a 5,
okay.
But it more is, I don't think it's perfect. So I would say 4.75, which is right there. But I love my favorite movie of the year. I've already seen it twice, and yeah, that's where I'm at.
I'm scoring this movie at a 4.5. I loved it a lot. You know, I loved it. It was absolutely entertaining. You know, I just think there was it had what it took to be 5 out of 5. I just felt like I couldn't give it a 5 because it wasn't like, you know, because the only movie we've given a 5 to was Logan, and I almost felt like it wasn't on that same level. So I guess this is just me being weird by giving it a 4.5, but I think 4.5 is the right score for it. So I get a 4.5 out of 5 Goldblums.
I don't even remember scoring Logan. I don't think I gave it a 5.
I thought we all gave it 5s. Whatever.
Maybe
Yeah.
we did. Maybe it's definitely possible. Ryan, I'm sorry.
I'm giving Baby Driver a 5 out of 5. Nick, what do you give this?
I don't believe anything's perfect, but I'll give it a 4.9 out of 5 Goldblums.
Okay. Jesus, I guess I'm.
That's a 4.7875 out of 5 Goldblums. I had the calculator out because
Jesus
we all
Christ.
had weird scorings.
But
that's
go ahead, Dan.
That's right below a Jurassic Park type of film, and I completely agree. It's an incredible, unique experience, and I think everybody's got to go see this movie.
Yeah.
What a Goldblum type of movie. It didn't need Goldblum to be a great movie, but, you know, we love Jeff Goldblum.
That movie had me hooked right with that first driving scene.
Yeah.
It's
that
terrific.
Opening heist.
It's terrific.
Yeah.
Is that all we got on Baby Driver?
Yeah, go see the movie.
Yeah,
I'm sorry about the spoilers, everybody.
it's all good. I'm going to see if I can do anything with some editing magic around that. Otherwise, it's going to stay in.
And so is
I
this
didn't
conversation
give the way
about
he did
editing.
die.
No.
So,
That's
I mean,
true. Maybe I can.
Stop talking for a
I'll
while.
see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Getting into our main topics. This one is something that it is a controversial topic among people and probably will be divisive. This week, I installed a bidet in my toilet. And for those that don't know what bidets are, a lot of times you'll find them in fancy hotels or I guess an upscale person's mansion. And what it is, it's a water jet that you blast your butthole with after you poop. And it's way more efficient than wiping your ass. And initially, a lot of people are like, that's gross, that's weird. But let me give you something that turned my head into thinking that I should probably get one. Think about this. If you had shit on your face, would you just take a paper towel and wipe it off, or would you use water and soap? Think about that. Why would you not give your asshole the same treatment? Because it's going to have shit residue on there, and especially in the summertime when you got humidity and it's going up to 95, you're going to get some summer butt. You're going to get some gross shit down there. And if you're using a bidet, you're going to get everything all cleared up down there. And God, I've had it for about a week and a half now, and it's amazing. I've never felt better, and it's weird. I get that. But I'm making a case for bidets. All right? What do you guys think of this?
I'm all in for trying new things when it comes to effectively cleaning your ass. You know, I mean, I'm a big toilet paper guy, but you know, I mean, I am not a big chafing guy. I hate chafing. I hate having to walk like a cowboy. You know, sometimes because like you wipe too hard or you wipe too efficiently and your ass hurts.
Yeah.
You know, so I think a bidet could remove that.
Yeah.
You know, and I honestly want to try one, Ryan, and it would be an honor if when I come down to Columbia next week, that I could try your bidet.
You absolutely can. It only cost me $30 and took 10 minutes with no prior plumbing knowledge to install the thing. And you don't get any more chafing like that or anything. It's awesome. And you don't have any more magic marker poops where you wipe and you wipe and you wipe and you're there for 15 minutes. It's incredible. Mike, would you ever try it?
So I take a lot of pride in being a clean individual. I take about 3 showers a day, 2 to 3 showers a day. I, brush my teeth 2 to 3 times a day. I always wash my hands when I touch my Johnson after I take a piss. But I'm all in on the bidets. I'm not going to buy one, but we're going to be living together, so I might have to hop on your toilet if I got a stinky butt one night. But no, I'm not against it. Having a clean asshole is never a bad thing.
No.
When people get intimate, they're in that area, and so it's like, in that general lower, but I think it's almost just like a nice thing to do. Like, hey,
yeah.
My asshole won't smell that
It's considerate.
bad.
Yeah.
So I'm not against the bidet, Ryan. I don't think it's that controversial.
Okay. There's immediately a stigma around it, like, oh, that's kind of weird. But like when you give thought about it, it's just better hygiene. Nick, would you ever do one? Would you ever use one?
I appreciate you guys wanting my input, but I have no comment on the matter.
Fair enough. I do have to say about these things is that there's just a wonder about them. There's just a magical, thought about
like
bidets and how. Yeah. I mean, if you're just you've been using toilet paper your whole life, like a bidet is just like the fucking sorcerer's stone.
Yeah.
Like
I saw you looking at your little Harry
if
Potter thing, and Nick and I were laughing our asses off.
What, the beans? Yeah, I got these Birdie Bots every flavor beans in Harry Potter World when I was at Universal, and the box is so fucking intricate. Like I never want to open it up. Like I never there's so much detail on it. Like I never want to open them to eat the beans. But no, it's fantastic. But a bidet is like the sorcerer's stone. Like, is it real? Yeah, it is. But it's just a rare case in which you have them, and I'm glad that you have one, Ryan, because now the sorcerer's stone is a real thing to me.
Yeah. No, I really think that after you guys try it, you're really going to be convinced that you should get one. Because, after you get that level of cleanliness, going back, it's primitive, to say the least.
Unfortunately, I think there's like a homophobic kind of attachment to them. Honestly, I really do. I think that asphyxiation really turns people off of the idea of having a clean butthole.
It's a
clean shit mouth.
Yeah, that's really dumb if a guy's avoiding being like a homo, and then he'll just have a dirty shithole. Like, that's dumb.
Did you just say avoiding being a homo?
Avoiding
it's
being
like-
known as one, you know.
Like you can't put like I'm not sucking dick. You can't put that in like I'm not using the bidet. That just doesn't make any fucking
Yeah.
sense. Like you can't put those two goddamn judgments in the same category.
No.
Like it's like like you're a fag for like eating a banana
God.
or something. like you can't do that.
No.
Like, it's not okay. Like okay, like it's the bidet has nothing to do with sexual orientation. It's whether or not you want to be as clean as you can be.
That's right. That's all I'm trying to convey here, and I think everyone in America should try it before knocking it. You know. But that's my
I wanna
case.
try it,
Yeah, I'm glad you're thinking about it. But that's all I got on this. Any final thoughts?
No.
Okay. Our next topic. Something kept me awake the other night. I was thinking about. Strangely, I was thinking about Shia LaBeouf. I'm worried about Shia LaBeouf, and I wanted to talk about what he's been up to. And so I have a brief sort of a brief review of Shia LaBeouf. He's currently 31 years old. He started getting into entertainment in 1996. He apparently went into stand up at age 10. He would do comedy clubs and gained a lot of notoriety because he had very dirty material. What's up, Mike?
Nothing.
Oh, you raised your hand.
No, a pop-up came up on my
Oh.
computer, and I had to
Okay.
click it off, and I was like, oh.
Okay.
Making sure.
In the 2000s, he became famous through Disney Channel's Even Stevens. He had a breakthrough into film in 2007 with Disturbia. You guys ever see that?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's based off of Rear Window, right?
Yeah, it's just like Hitchcock.
Yes.
It's really good. In 2008, he was in Transformers and Indiana Jones 4, which I wish didn't happen. But I personally loved him in 2014 when he starred in Fury, a David Ayer movie. That was the shit right there. I recommend people go see that. But then, in 2014, things got weird. Shia LaBeouf in 2014 released a short film that got accused of plagiarism. Later that year at the Cannes Film Festival, or is it Cannes? I don't know. I think it's Cannes.
Cannes.
It's Cannes.
Okay. Cannes. Cannes Film. Cannes.
Michael Caine.
The James
Patrick
Caan, the James Caan Film Festival. He was on the red carpet with a paper bag on his head that read, "I am not famous anymore." And that's when people started to be like, "What's wrong with this guy?" That same month, he launched an art installation called "I Am Sorry" in downtown Los Angeles, where visitors could come in one by one and sit in this room where he was dressed in a tuxedo with that same paper bag over his head that said, "I am not famous anymore." He did that for 5 days. He sat in that room. Then we go into May 2015. Shia LaBeouf stands in front of a green screen and becomes famous on the internet through his famous "Don't Let Your Dreams Be Dreams" video. After that, in November of 2015, he rented a theater in Manhattan and invites fans to join him to watch every single one of his movies in one sitting. He also live streamed that. In 2016, he live streamed himself in a public elevator for 24 hours. He just stood in there, and they just live streamed it while strangers went in and out. In May 2016, he did the Take Me Anywhere project, where he would tweet his location to fans, and anyone could just pick him up and take him wherever they wanted. He went all around the country, and it was really weird to watch. In January 2017, he was arrested for punching a Trump supporter while he was protesting. In April, and most recently, his most recent publicity stunt was in April of 2017, where he recreated Henry David Thoreau's Walden, where he spent a month alone in a cabin, which he also live streamed. Now, do you guys think Shia LaBeouf's okay, or is this sort of a jump into what people call performance art? Or is this a little loony?
It's kind of out there, but like, I mean, I hope he doesn't give a shit what people think about him. I hope
Yeah.
he's doing it just to kind of find freedom within himself. You know, if anybody goes off the deep end here, like the thing is like you have to be concerned about how they feel, you know, because a lot of people don't express how they actually feel, and especially him who's been in the spotlight before, like, you have people, paparazzi, who want to know everything you're doing
Yeah.
without necessarily caring about how you feel. And when a person does stuff like this, it's either a reach out for a help or a sense of enclosement where he just kind of wants to do what he wants to do. But, I just hope everything's okay with him. I mean, it's a shame because Brad Pitt said Shia LaBeouf was like the best actor he's ever worked with.
Does he mean like by
After-
skill or just a nice guy?
By skill.
Oh, wow.
By acting skill. Brad Pitt said that he is the best actor he's ever worked with. Like, I'm not sure why. He's got like. I'm not saying I'm not sure why Brad Pitt says that about Shia LaBeouf. Like, I believe he's a great actor. I've seen some of the shit he's done. He's really good, but studios are afraid of him because of shit like this.
Yeah.
But if you can get past that, like Marlon Brando had struggles in his career. Like, Marlon Brando is a dick, but he's one of the greatest actors of all time. Like, you have to get by kind of their like off studio mindset and really care about what they do in front of a camera.
Sure.
It's kind of like athletes, there's a certain standard that athletes do, but like you shouldn't not sign a great basketball player to your team if he's not so great of a person off the court. I mean, if he can get along with teammates and get you some wins, and he's a great basketball player, like, sign him. Like, just because, like, he does some weird shit in the off season, like, doesn't mean you shouldn't sign him.
Yeah.
Like, the Chicago Bulls went out on a limb in the 90s when they got Dennis Rodman, and Dennis Rodman was kind of at a not so good point in his career. He was putting on wedding dresses and doing, like, book signings and shit like that. And then Rodman played for the Pistons a few years prior, and he was one of the hated rivals of the Bulls. The Bulls took a chance on him, and they won 3 championships. And Dennis Rodman never changed his off-court persona, but on the court, he came ready to play every day. So Shia LaBeouf is the Dennis Rodman of the acting universe. He's Hall of Famer. Well, Shia LaBeouf is Hall of Fame potential if he gets some work, but it's just the studios have got to get over his, like, oh, what if he's like this? Like, I think they should give him a chance and stuff, and I hope he doesn't get too off the deep end to where he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Mike, what do you think? Is he a loon?
It's undeniable that he can act. He's been in a number of stuff, whether it's independent films or bigger films, where he's shown he has potential to be a really great actor. But and he's whacked. And I don't like to judge actors and actresses for how they act off camera because it's unfair. I don't know them personally, but this kid's been in the spot. Well, not a kid anymore. He's 31, but he's been in the spotlight since he was a kid. Long time, since even fucking Steven. And he probably has had a lot of temptations in his life, and he's kind of just he's been strayed away from like a normal teenage life probably when he was growing up. He's been around stardom his whole life, so I feel like that can have a toll on you if you really don't know how to live in the real world or something like that. So I just think it's kind of a depiction of the social climate he's been in his whole life. I kind of hope he can get it together, but I don't know. We'll see. Like Dan said, I'd like to see him in more movies because he's very versatile, and he has potential to be great, but we haven't seen that yet. And he's kind of going off the deep end, it seems, because it's like these occurrences never seem to stop.
Well, do you think it's him not giving a fuck, or do you think it's him kind of getting whack?
Well, I don't know him, so I can't say, but the things he does are whacked.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of them are just very out there and strange. Maybe he's just being artistic. I have no idea, but I really don't. I hope he can get it together because I really love when he's on screen. I honestly think his work in Fury it had supporting actor potential and it didn't come through, but I think he was that fucking good, and I'd like to see him working with higher directors more often. But we aren't seeing that because he's kind of scared everyone off. I'd love to see him in a Tarantino picture.
Oh my God, yeah, he'd be great. But I just think like he started getting famous. Oh, Dan, you have something?
Yeah, Tarantino or Christopher Nolan should like revive this guy's career.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like a director like that who are kind of in their own element often.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Christopher Nolan and Quentin Tarantino do whatever the fuck they want in Hollywood and with their films. So if they get Shia LaBeouf just in a role that fits with their films, they could send this guy off, and I would love for something like that to happen. But, Ryan, you had a thought.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this. He started getting really famous with Disney Channel when he was in his teens, and I have to think that does a number on somebody. I mean, think about when you're in school and you said something funny in class, like the rush you get, and like how addicting that was is almost like a drug, And think about that times 50. And that's what he gets like every single week with Even Stevens. He has national fame. He's getting all these opportunities, all this money, all this attention. Everyone wants to know what he's up to. That has to do a number on the psyche of a teenager. And I think if you don't handle fame right, it might be something that you crave. And I can't say, just like Mike said, we don't know him.
Look at what happened to Miley Cyrus, though.
Yeah. Oh God.
I mean, she kind of went fucking nuts for a second. She was just doing a ton of crazy shit, but now she's like back to like she's back to like a normal kind of state. And really, it was just kind of like a sense of identity that wasn't Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Like
you got to step away from it.
She was just kind of searching for something that could get her into like a new wave of music and have like a new identity that gets her away from Disney because that had ran its course. So maybe he just didn't want to be the guy from Transformers anymore.
Yeah.
Or the Disney Corporation just fucking turns child stars into fucking wackos. Or I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of factors. I mean, there's a lot of shit we don't know about Shia LaBeouf either. So we really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, even with that one thing where it was the Take Me Anywhere project where people would just pick him up, everyone that like picked him up would then like be interviewed or like tweet about it and say like he was just a really nice guy. So, granted, we can't just take internet strangers for the truth there, but I mean, maybe he's just kind of figuring things out. He's distancing himself from it, though he's live streaming everything, and maybe it's a cry for attention. Coming off of all that fame when you're a teen has to do a strange number on someone. I can't imagine that.
What keeps me up at night is what is Brendan Fraser doing nowadays?
He just got casted in something, I think.
He's doing like a TV show. Let me look
Isn't
it up.
it the new like the OJ show? Like how they're doing those?
Yeah, no,
like
it's something like that. You're totally right. Let me get it. Let me get it. Oh, he's doing. Damn, he's still doing some shit here. He's doing a TV series called Trust, and it seems like he's the main character. He just did like a full order season and something called Condor. But let me see what Trust is. No idea.
He was losing his hair in the last couple pictures I saw.
Yeah, he had really bad hair plugs over the years too.
The thing about Brendan Fraser is he used to be the butt of a lot of jokes between me and some friends in grade school, and like he just kind of disappeared. He was the Mummy. He was Journey to the Center of the Earth, and it seems that he left his acting career at the center of the Earth, and then. And then he just disappears, and he doesn't do shit anymore.
Well, you know what happened?
I guess he's doing shit.
Right around when Over the Hedge came out,
good movie.
He had a crazy wife who divorced him for a huge settlement, and she took like a lot of his net worth He's paying horrible alimony payments that he couldn't keep up with because he stopped getting work from how stressful this was on him. And he lost his hairline. There was a lot of really sad paparazzi photos of like bad hair plugs that he had.
Oh,
and
no.
he's just been sliding and sliding. And in recent interviews, he just seems really sad, like he's had a little bit of spirit taken out of him. But I will say, there's a lot of very good hair prosthetics in like a bunch of celebrities. Matthew McConaughey, even, he had a mugshot of him when he got arrested for like marijuana possession. That was in the early 2000s, and he was losing hair, but now that hairline's come back, and I think he just has like really good hair plugs in or something.
Did you see Tiger Woods' hair plugs in
No.
his photo last month or whenever he fucked up? His hair plugs are shitty, dude.
But I mean, if you're an actor, if you're going bald, you kind of have to get that shit, otherwise you're out of work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Tiger Woods like wears a hat for
I think it's almost
for a
better if
living,
you're an
you know?
actor though to just shave your head and wear a wig for everything.
Oh yeah.
That's what Steven Van Zandt does, who's Silvio in The Sopranos. He burned his hair off when he was a kid.
What?
And he wears a wig.
Really?
And everything. Yeah.
Damn it, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, Jim Carrey's hair looked fake for a little bit, like in Yes Man.
Was it fake?
I don't know.
Huh.
But
He's got a
now
beard now. He looks like
now
fucking
he's
Santa.
got like flow and a beard, and he looks crazy. Like he looks like a '70s hippie or something like that, man. Like he
Let's
looks
get
out
this
there.
straight. Jim
Like,
Carrey
but-
is crazy.
What'd you say?
Jim Carrey
was
is
that?
crazy.
Maybe. He was saying Jim Carrey is
Oh
crazy.
no, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Maybe, but
Yeah.
I love Jim Carrey too, though. But he hasn't worked in a long time. So like, maybe it's these Hollywood expectations, man. Like maybe it's over expecting things out of
Yeah.
people, and it just drives some people nuts, and it's a shame
Shia LaBeouf.
because they're just that. They're people, man. Everybody's got feelings
Yeah.
and stuff. Like you can't drive people to a point of insanity and then leave them alone.
Yeah.
Like that's what happened to like Robin Williams, man. Like he seemed so happy, but he wasn't. Like why did nobody know that? It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame.
Well, you know who I bet.
That's a depressing end of the show.
You know who doesn't
Yeah, we
have hair
can't do that.
plugs? Shia LaBeouf.
No,
and
he's
I
still
hope
got
he's
his hair.
okay. Yeah, he's still got his hair, and I hope he's okay. But I'm glad you guys embarked on that discussion because I'm concerned about him. And
Want to know who doesn't have hair plugs
Who?
either? Hayden Christensen, and I want him to come back to Star Wars and be Anakin Skywalker again.
I think we should do more of these segments on what are they up to in the future. I think it's kind of interesting for us to discuss these guys. Like it's namely Brendan Fraser. That would have been a good topic on its own. But do you guys have anything else?
Nothing.
According to the internet, today is apparently World Sports Journalist Day, and that's what I am.
Congrats.
Hey,
You did it.
Thanks.
hey.
Yeah, we have our own day, like National Pizza Day or whoever the fuck comes up with these days.
That's bullshit.
It's pizza
Because
time.
as a sports journalist, I don't want a day.
You sure about that?
You know, my day is every day. I want to know what kind of fucking toilet paper LeBron James uses.
I bet he uses a fucking bidet.
Brian Windhorse would know.
Yeah, Brian Windhorse would know because he's down there sniffing LeBron's ass all the time. but yeah, I'll bet LeBron uses a bidet.
Yeah.
In all honesty, LeBron looks like a guy who uses a bidet, and he can definitely afford one. But LeBron is not a beer drinker; he's a wine drinker, and that definitely screams bidet.
Well, I'm glad we've come full circle. Next week we're reviewing Spider-Man, correct?
Absolutely, I'm so excited.
All right. Well,
Program your web shooters and get ready to have some fun.
that's right. Get your silly string
Because
kids.
Michael Keaton is back in a superhero movie
Yeah.
as a villain. Ba-dum,
Nick, how was your first
Bum,
experience on the
bum.
Creatively Challenged podcast?
This is a great experience. I just wanted to thank you guys for having me on here. Danny with his bold comments, as always. Ryan Nolan with his amazing extended vocabulary.
Thank you.
Never heard a guy on a podcast or at all have the kind of vocabulary that you have, and Mike with his, witty plugs. I very much appreciate you guys having me on, and from listening from the first episode all the way till now, you guys really know what you're talking about, and I just wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Nick.
Hey, thanks, Nick.
Drop the mic.
No. All right,
No.
and that is this week's podcast. Remember to rate and subscribe to us on iTunes. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well and throw us some likes if you could. We're going to have links to all that in the description. We're also on Twitter and Facebook. Any likes or favorites or whatever would be very much appreciated. We always like a little fan engagement. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
Yeah, if you have any comments about Shia LaBeouf, comment and tell us where you think he is.
Yeah. If you are Shia LaBeouf, please come on our show. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Go see
Shia
Baby
LaBeouf.
Driver. Deserves to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf, if you're listening, come onto the podcast. Comment about how you are, because we love you, and we love Jeff Goldblum, and we love our listeners.
All right. And as always, thank you for listening.
What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us.